Alright, this is the PC setup number 4. I'm just going to run through some of these parts real quick. Back there, the motherboard, that's in a Z790 Hero. And obviously you can see the NH-D15 Noctua air cooler. Underneath that is an i9 13900KS. And we have some DDR5 G.Skill to get 64 gigs of memory. I just have 2 sticks because I didn't want to have to deal with trying to get it to work with more than 2 sticks. And then we have the MSI RTX 4090 Suprim X graphics card, EVGA 1600 T2. Everything else in here is the same as my last video as far as the components and the fans and the lights, which if you want to know what those are, you can watch that. Show the back of the desk here. Haven't really done any cable management yet because I kind of have bad luck with that. Once I do it, almost always one of the cables stop working. So it's the back of the MSI monitor. These are Ergotron. I just have this running, just testing it out, but it's been holding up pretty strong. So it's 95% right now. The graphics card, it's not really doing much for CPU right now. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole setup. I'll have a few more videos and pictures after this. Alright, welcome to my latest PC build. I haven't done one in over 10 years actually, so I'm upgrading a 10-year-old system. I am keeping some of the parts like the fans, some SSDs and things I have in there, but as far as the core items, these are what I will be replacing it with. So went with the Z790 boards, just because it's a little bit more future-proof and it supports 5th gen PCIe and DDR5. Along with that is DDR5 memory. I went with G.Skill. Again, I've just always used G.Skill. Went to buy an EVGA graphics card just to realize that they don't make graphics cards anymore, so I had to go with a different brand. I just went with MSI. I think theirs looks really nice. And then still wanted to support EVGA since they're not making graphics cards, so I went with an EVGA power supply. This is a titanium 1600 watts, so it's kind of overkill, but I should never have any issues powering anything going forward. This is the 3rd power supply I've had to upgrade to because of the lack of power, so I just spend just a little extra. It's really not much extra just to get the biggest size they have. They do make a smaller, this one's 220 millimeters long, which is really long. I didn't realize they had a 200 version now, so this one's a little bit bigger. That might be an issue for some people. They do make a 200 millimeter version, which is a little bit smaller. And then I've got 2 drives. I got 1 terabyte for the OS and a 2 terabyte for games or anything else I want to load quickly on there. I am running the i9 13900KS, which I realize runs really hot, and I do plan on using an air cooler to run the KS, but I did get a contact frame for it, and I will be undervolting it, so the temps should be perfectly fine just with those 2 things being addressed alone. But so these are basically all the new parts here. Once I get them in there, I'll kind of show what I'm keeping from the old stuff, and we'll test it out. I just wanted to show the few pictures that I took. I didn't take very many of the build and the new parts and opening the boxes, but this is the motherboard. I was actually surprised at how heavy it was. It's very, very heavy. It has really thick aluminum plating on it, and the heat sinks are really large on here as well. So that's what it looked like on the back. Not really used to that much metal on a board. And then those are some of the extra stuff that it came with. The drivers are on the little USB stick, and then that's a M.2 expansion card, which I don't really need. And there's the 13900 KS, which at the time was I believe the most powerful desktop processor Intel had. That's after I took the stock CPU holder out and I put the plate on. Then there's the NHD15. I think I actually put those brackets on backwards because they look different in the other pictures. And then there's Windows 11 with the two drives that I got. The G.Skill memory. This is putting it inside of my old case, which I'm reusing. Started getting everything hooked up. Put some thermal paste on there. Then there's the heat, the CPU cooler when it's on. Now I reused my old Noctua case badge, and I like to put it on the fans. I just think it looks a lot better. And of course now I used the new one and I put it on the other fans, so now there's badges on both of those fans now. It's on the first boot, activating Windows. That's what it looked like when it kind of first got set up with the stock lighting settings that Corsair has on their strips. There I'm just kind of testing it out with a game. Nothing too much, just RuneScape. But surprisingly, it runs the graphics card at like 95%, which is a little insane, but it is maxed out at 4K resolution. So testing the memory, or yeah, that's the speed of the M.2s. Changed the fan speed control settings, and I did end up getting a virtual graphics card bracket, just because it was hanging down, sagging quite a bit, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't damaging anything, the card or the motherboard. And then that's after I got the graphics card vertically mounted. And those are just some finished pictures. The setup, and that's about it. Thank you.